We are back from a week hiatus. What happened? What was the drama? Why was there no episode? Why people stormed off set? Were the police called? Body
911.
cam footage? What exactly happened? Obviously, none of that. I just went on vacation with my family.
Lovely time.
Yeah, I had a great time. I went to Martha's Vineyard with my family. It was a lot of fun. Spent most of my time fishing, which
Nice.
I enjoyed very much.
Biggest fish you caught? Anything to report?
Yeah, I got some stuff to report. It was actually funny because I was like fishing the whole time on the beach, just like surf casting. And everyone in my family's like, "Oh, like you're so patient. Like it's so stoic. Like you're fishing and you're patient the whole time." And it's like,
I have nothing else to do.
it's not stoic. This is the gambling part of my brain. I'm trying to yank out a tuna. I want to bring a shark on shore.
You're there for that 100x upside.
Yeah, I'm there. Exactly. I was basically just like any fish I caught, I would just chop into chunks, put on a huge hook with a metal leader, and launch out as far as I could, trying to yank a shark.
Hey,
Did not yank a shark, but it was a lot of fun. I caught a bunch of striped bass, which was very cool. And Martha's Vineyard is actually a pretty cool place. I don't know if you've ever been.
I have not.
It's like you take a ferry to get there. It's a literal island. Tons of people. It goes back generations, like hundreds of years. People just pass their houses down over and over.
I know they're like living in basically the 80s or
Yeah,
something.
80s, 90s. All these old cars. There's no Uber Eats. Everyone. It's just like
There's
America.
no Uber. There's no anything to interfere.
It was America before we gave it away.
Hey,
Very liberal place too. So obviously after the vaccine takes its course, I think we head to Martha's Vineyard.
it's empty now.
Spend the first month clearing out the bodies, going house to house, making sure all the bodies are properly.
Mass graves, roll them in.
Couple mass graves. We'll set a thing up. We'll put like a thing, kind of paying homage to what happened, the culture or whatever. And then there'll be like an auction for all the houses, but without money. It'll just be like, who wants what house? Make your claims. I'm going straight to Obama's house. That one's going to be mine. It was a lot of fun, mostly fishing, which is good. I did some spear fishing.
How'd that go?
Which was interesting. It was actually funny because we had like 3 different spear guns, and there was one that had like an easy notch to pull the spear back to, and that was the one my dad was using. And then the other one was like really hard to pull the thing back. So my dad pulls the spear back, notches it up, and super easy. And then I'm trying to do mine, and I can't do it.
How'd you do that, Dad?
And he's like, just do it. Just pull it back. And I'm like, damn, like, does he just have this dad strength that I don't have? And I'm like trying my hardest. And then we eventually realized that the effort it takes to pull his spear back was like half of mine. And he tried to do the spear gun I was using, and he couldn't even pull it back.
So you're the dad now.
I'm the dad now.
You have dad strength.
Because I was pulling it back, and literally every time I pulled it back, it was like the worst experience of my life. I had to put the gun here, and I pulled it. It was just like, ugh. And like, I would just
break.
I would just barely get it every time. And then like my dad tried to use my gun without realizing that there were different notches. And he was like, dude, how did you get that back? Like I was out there and I couldn't do it.
From joke to hero in 20 minutes, I guess.
Yeah. But the whole time I was like, damn, like my dad's so strong. And like that dad strength is something that hasn't settled into me yet. But I had it in me the whole time.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. I taught my little niece a trick. We were eating Italian cookies that were like vanilla and then half dipped in chocolate.
With the sprinkles.
So it's like, obviously there's a good side and a bland side. So in the beginning, I was like, hey, you want to split this cookie with me? And she was like, yeah. I broke it off, gave her the bland side, ate the good side. And then I eventually taught her like, hey, the best side is the frosting side. Snap it in half. Leave the bland side in the box. It's a joke. People laugh. And you get the best part of the cookie. So I taught her that. My sister was very upset that I did that.
Setting her on a path to be overweight almost immediately. Hey, here's your uncle's jokes. Here's your techniques that I use. And it's just like, there he is. There's Uncle Fletcher.
You can become like me. But she's not on that path. She's literally 29 pounds.
I know.
So it's like this little person who's like got a developed brain and can talk, but also is just 29 pounds, which is hilarious. Went to an ice cream shop. That was another highlight of the trip. The place had like tons and tons of flavors. That was like their selling thing, like all these different flavors.
101 different flavors.
And I went there and I just said, 1 scoop of vanilla on a wafer cone, please. And they were like, oh, okay.
I've never seen that before. My version of that is the little kid soft serve with just rainbow sprinkles.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's classic. It's pure Americana.
Little kid stuff, yeah.
And then I posted like, oh, if you know, like the vanilla flavor, which is like, classic, whatever. But there's nothing to know.
Everybody knows.
Yeah. It was purely a bit. It was a bit. It was basically the moment in time exists forever. I talked to the ice cream person and I ordered the most basic order ever. They probably have never even gotten that order. Like in a week, they probably get that order once, for like an old lady or someone with like a sensitive palate.
Well, sometimes it's nice to go back to those little kid foods you ate. Like I've been doing the salami sandwiches where it's just salami, cheese, mayo.
Yeah,
little kid
up. Mayo with anything. I'm always looking for that. The spear fishing was good. Regular fishing was good. I caught cool striped bass. There's a rule on striped bass now. It used to be like a keeper is anything over 28 inches, I think. Mm-hmm. So it's like you're looking for the pigs.
Yeah.
Now there's a rule where you can only keep it between 28 and 35. And anything over 35, you have to put back because it's like a female that can breed.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. But it's like, I'm trying to catch the fish.
Yeah.
And then I catch the fish and I have to put it back. Right? Yeah, you can hold it. So here's me with the fish I caught.
Us they can't hold no stripers. So Billy Joel was right.
And there's no sense in sword fishing here.
Yeah.
There's no island left for islanders like me. I get that now.
That's crazy. Billy Joel predicted this.
And then, so it was like basically fishing, but instead of enjoying like the sport and relaxing, it was more gambling, even on the boat.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, with my brother-in-law on the boat, we're fishing, and every time he'd hook up with a fish, I'd be like, is it big? How big is it? I want you to be like, it's huge. And then I was doing little side bets. So it's like I would do 15 to 1 odds. Mm-hmm. And I would say, give me the odds on me catching a fish in the next 15 seconds. So my brother-in-law would be like 15 to 1. I'm like, all right, $10. 1,000, 2,000, 3. So I lost like $30 there. And then I went spear fishing.
Well, you got to do the gambling on which rod's going to hit too if you're trawling, right?
Yeah, but we kind of were holding the rods. Okay. So it's like I had mine. I took the 15-second bets.
Gotcha.
We went spear fishing, which was cool. I was in the water. And, there's rules to certain fish you can't kill. There's certain fish sizes you need to maintain. So, of course, I followed all the rules. I'm in the water. I see another person spearfishing with us, right? He's like in the water as well. No big deal. We're searching around. I come up on a fish. I blast it.
Yeah.
Immediately hit it. First hit of the day. I'm like, oh, cool. The fish is going crazy. And then I pop up and someone's like, hey, I'm over here. Just want to make sure you saw me. And I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? And he's like, yeah, there's a good amount of fish in here. And I'm like, oh, I think I just shot one. And he's like, oh, was it a black sea bass or whatever? And I'm like, yeah, I think so. He goes, what do those have to be, like 17 inches? And meanwhile, I have like this fish like flailing on my line right next to me.
12-inch fish flailing.
So I'm like, yeah, like 17 for sure. Like that was the first fish I shot at. So I changed like the wording, like the first fish I shot at, and basically lied to his face because I didn't want him to like, let me see the fish you got. So I'm like, yeah, it's the first fish I shot at. The fish is like flailing next to me. So then I was just like, all right, see you later. Good luck. And I swam away, took the fish off on shore. It wasn't the fish he said. It was like a porgy or something that didn't have a size limit. But I didn't even know what fish I shot. And then I just chopped that fish up, put it on the metal eater, try to catch the shark. Never caught the shark. So that's what happened. That's why I wasn't here last week.
Sounds like a fun trip.
I took a week to myself, enjoyed it, got to see my family, hang out with the little people in my family. It was a lot of fun. And that's this week's housekeeping.